The night was supposed to be forgettable, the kind that slipped quietly into memory and never returned, but instead it began with a moment so sharp it felt like destiny clearing its throat. Under the warm glow of outdoor heaters and candlelight, a powerful CEO sat across from a man the world had taught her not to see, and in the shadows behind her, danger was already moving closer. She did not know it yet, but the single dad she had silently mocked in her mind was the only reason she would see another sunrise. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that people are often more than they appear, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us why humanity still matters. Her name was Evelyn Cross, a self-made CEO who had built a tech empire before turning 40. Her days were filled with boardrooms, headlines, and decisions that moved markets. Tonight, however, she sat at a small outdoor restaurant, dressed elegantly, feeling slightly irritated that she had even agreed to this blind date. The matchmaker had insisted, saying she needed someone real, someone grounded. When she had arrived and seen him standing awkwardly by the host's stand, white cane in hand, worn jacket, nervous smile, she had already decided the evening was a mistake. A blind single father was not part of her carefully controlled world. She had smiled politely, of course, because kindness was good for reputation, but inside she counted the minutes. The man's name was Daniel Hart. Life had not bent gently for him. Years earlier, an accident had taken his sight and taken his wife shortly after, leaving him with a small daughter and a heart permanently on edge. He worked quietly as a mechanical consultant, relying on touch, sound, and intuition more than vision, skills he had sharpened not by choice but by survival. Tonight, he had worn his best clothes, not to impress, but to show respect. He sensed Evelyn's distance immediately. Blindness had taught him how emotions shifted the air, how impatience tightened breathing, how judgment made silence heavy. As the evening stretched on, Evelyn felt strangely unsettled. Daniel did not talk much, yet his presence was steady, calm, almost protective. He listened with full attention when she spoke about her company, her struggles, the pressure of being a woman at the top. He did not interrupt or compete. He simply absorbed her words as if they mattered. That, more than anything, confused her. Still, she kept emotional distance, unaware that danger was now only seconds away. From behind her, a man approached fast, fueled by desperation and rage. He was a former employee, fired months ago after a financial scandal, convinced Evelyn had ruined his life. In his hand was a knife, hidden low, his face twisted with intent. The restaurant noise masked his steps, and no one noticed until it was too late. No one except Daniel. He heard the shift in air, the irregular footsteps, the breath that did not belong. His body reacted before thought. Years of navigating a sightless world had trained him to read what others ignored. He stood abruptly, reaching across the table, pulling Evelyn back with a force that knocked her chair over. The blade cut only air where her neck had been. In the same motion, Daniel twisted, using his cane not as a crutch but as a weapon, striking the attacker's wrist with precision born from instinct and memory. The knife clattered to the ground. Screams erupted. The attacker fell. Security swarmed in moments later, but it was already over. Evelyn sat frozen on the ground, heart pounding, hands shaking, realization crashing over her in waves. She had been seconds from death. The man she had dismissed, the one she believed was weak, had moved faster and braver than anyone she had ever known. Daniel stood nearby, breathing hard, concern etched across his face, asking if she was safe, his voice steady despite the chaos. In the days that followed, the story made headlines. The blind single father who saved a CEO's life. Reporters called him a hero. Evelyn called him something else entirely in her heart. She visited him, not out of obligation, but because something inside her had cracked open. She learned about his daughter, about the nights he worked late so she could attend a better school, about how blindness had taken so much yet given him a deeper way of seeing people. She learned how strength could exist without power, how courage could live quietly. For the first time in years, Evelyn felt small in the best way. Her success had built walls, and Daniel had walked through them without even seeing them. She began to change. She slowed down. She listened more. She funded accessibility programs, not for publicity, but because now it was personal. And somewhere in that transformation, a connection grew between two people from opposite worlds, bound not by status, but by a moment where life demanded truth. Daniel never asked for recognition. He returned to his routines, to his daughter's bedtime stories, to a life still filled with challenges. But Evelyn never forgot the warmth of his hand pulling her back from death, the quiet bravery that saved her when no one else noticed the danger. She had gone to that date expecting to tolerate an inconvenience. She left it having met the most powerful man she would ever know. Before this story ends, we have a special request for you. Please comment below with the words, "True Strength," if you believe that real power comes from character, not titles. Your words help this story reach more hearts. Near the end of her speeches now, Evelyn often spoke about an unnamed hero who reminded her that vision had nothing to do with sight. And Daniel, when walking through the world with his daughter's small hand in his, knew that even in darkness, purpose could shine. If this story touched your heart, if it made you feel something deep and real, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone you love, and leave a comment. Your engagement keeps stories like this alive, and together, we remind the world that kindness still saves lives.